the dance they do here, they do it to that anxiety song.
What is the anxiety song?
Anxiety. That won't help.
That's not going to help me figure out what you're talking about.
I'll play it for you later. Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, and forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The Fresh Prince went 148 episodes over 6 seasons on NBC. Today we're talking about episode 1, which is called The Fresh Prince Project, originally airing September 10th, 1990. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me, as always, the boys, all the boys, Joe, Ferg, Gordo, and Nick. What's going on, guys?
Heyo.
The fight was really neat. They were so hard to use a quote from this episode because I'm sure we'll get into it, but this TV show, every single episode is like mapped into my brain. It was weird rewatching it and being like, I don't really need notes for this.
I thought the same thing, except for the fact that, like, I could have sworn that the plot... Remember the episode when he trades in our instrument and gets drums from the pawn shop?
Yeah. That's early on.
I thought that was part of this episode. I could have sworn it was.
It also introduces jazz in the next episode.
Yeah.
You've probably just watched them back to back because they're like episodes 1 and 2.
In my head, they just merged.
The one thing this episode is missing is Jazz getting thrown out of the house. Like, it's the one trope of this show that I wish we had. Yeah.
So, The Fresh Prince, obviously this is a show that we're all very familiar with, and it's always tough to disconnect when it's a show like this big, but, you know, we'll do what we can in the moment. This is one of those ones, it's tough because we've seen it a million times. I will say there are things I don't quite remember the same because I haven't watched the first episode a lot.
Characters change a bit, yeah. But
and I'll say this, the classic from us not to get ahead as we, try to specifically just talk about this episode, and we will as we cover it. But like my brain, I think through syndication, I remember the later years more than the early years, like the more like white house that's like less, like the inside in the interior wood finish we see here.
Oh, and fib number 2 years?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, like I remember every episode, but like when I think of the house, like close your eyes, think of the Fresh Prince house. I don't think of the early years,
Yeah. How many seasons? I mean, how many episodes was the first season? Was it a full run, like a 20 plus?
I think it was a pretty even split because it went so it was 6 seasons long, and then they were all 25, 24, 24, 26, 25, 24. So it was pretty even split.
Because I agree. I remember the other house. I mean, it just makes more sense. It's 1/6 of the show is this one, and the rest is the one we know.
Yeah, this again a show I think we're all very familiar with.
Gordo, have you seen this show?
Of course I have.
I mean, of course you have. That doesn't mean anything.
We've all right. So this is going to be a classic Gordo Goes to the Well. How many times have I been with you guys and this has been on the television?
This show is nearly inescapable. I'll say a close friend of all of ours, friend of the show, Russ, has guest spotted a couple times, went his entire until adulthood without ever seeing an episode, which I think for that to be true, you almost have to avoid it if it's on because
purpose.
It's just on everywhere. You're in the doctor's office waiting. You're you're doing anything. You're getting your oil changed.
It was in syndication. It was everywhere.
But it was on at all times. It was just one of those shows that was just constantly on television.
Do you think the Fresh Prince and Yesteryear are mad that they are no longer on TV at every doctor's office and they have a vendetta against the fucking Property Brothers? Because that's the only thing they play in every doctor's office all day. There's a 24-hour fucking Property Brothers channel.
And one thing I think is really weird is if you want to watch this show, you can go ahead and watch Fresh Prince on Hulu. You can watch it on Disney Plus. It's on Sling, but it's not on Peacock, which it's this is a NBC show. They went in the later seasons. They had the mascot, the peacock, in their college because this is an NBC show and it's not on Peacock.
I feel like it used to be, at least on launch date.
Bel-Air is on if you want to watch the drama reboot of the show.
Yeah, my next question was, has anybody watched Bel-Air? I had zero interest in even checking that out.
I've actually heard it's good, but I haven't seen it.
I also heard it was good, but it is not in the same vein. It's a more serious take on it, which I just didn't care about.
Right, I just didn't have an interest in that.
It's something nobody asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess too though about a bunch of 40-year-olds. Like, do you want to watch a show about a guy having a kid having a tough time in high school? But like, not really. No, it's like we're not the right audience for that. I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like, alternatively, do you want to watch a show that's kind of going to ruin your outlook on a classic TV show you used to watch? It's like,
They talked about an animated version at one time too, which I think would have been like that would have worked for sure.
yeah, I mean, or they could just leave well enough alone. And
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Watching this as an adult, his antics don't amuse me quite as much. And I'm going, you jerk. They're taking you into their house.
Yep.
yeah.
You relate to Uncle Phil now.
Yeah.
You relate to
crazy.
Uncle Phil, and it's fucking bananas. Ferg, you and I having kids, I think especially, I was like, I bet Ferg feels this way too. Like, oh my god, it's weird. Also, Uncle Phil is 45 in this. That blew my fucking
I was just
mind.
looking that up. I wonder how old he actually was.
Well, he's
yeah.
already raised 4 baby turtles. I know that's Splinter, but I had to do the voice.
That is one of my favorite. Like that was one of those like we knew not. I mean, we were like younger adults, but like it took a long time to find out that James Avery was also Shredder in the cartoons.
He was also a junkyard dog in Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That is one I did not know until pretty recently, though.
Actually, that show actually has a lot of like famous people that surprised me. I don't have any off the top of my head, but
Isn't Raymond one of them?
yeah, that's it. He voiced Hogan.
Yeah, he voiced Hogan, yeah.
To get right into this episode, it starts with the intro. You see the name of the show, Fresh Prince. It's like stylized in kind of like a graffiti-like font. And then behind it, you see Will like spinning around in the throne in the background. Song starts. Now again, not to get ahead, but how can you not? This is one of the most iconic theme songs in television history. But here we're getting the elongated version, which, you know, we've all heard, but you don't hear it much. So it always kind of is odd when you hear this one.
Could anybody find out how many episodes this ran?
They only did it for the first one. And I think like in a later episode, they might have did it like randomly, but yeah.
I was going to
cut
say,
randomly.
I definitely remember seeing it in the later episode, at least one of these other spots.
Yeah, it might have been like a one-off here and there, but for the most part, it was like a pilot only, and then they condensed it. Now everyone knows the song, though. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. Everyone knows the song. But now
Yeah.
this version is like nearly 2 minutes long.
Yeah. I don't know those lyrics.
And
the-
it's
the
just
new
too
ones.
long of an intro for a show. I mean, one thing I like about this theme, it tells you exactly what this show is.
And the shortened version also does.
Well, the first that gets cut out is like him being on a plane, like sitting first class.
Yeah.
Like you can easily take that chunk out and it doesn't change the story.
What's smart too, though, is they follow like what worked for Will and Jazzy Jeff, right? Is like these story songs. You think of like A Nightmare on My Street or Parents Just Don't Understand. It's like these long videos that tell one long linear story. Then you follow along with it. They do the theme song the exact same way, and the videos look exactly the same. Yeah.
The videos all look, all the early Fresh Prince, like he just rented out a studio for a day. And they were like, we're going to bang them all out.
Yeah.
Here's a studio, here's some white walls, here's a bunch of spray paint, and fucking go. Yeah.
Pretty sure the spinning throne is from another song.
The throne's like in all of them too. But yeah, no, this song, that makes sense actually. That's probably exactly why.
Yeah, that gimmick makes sense, yeah.
So yeah, again, the intro, very iconic. I think everyone who's listening right now knows it. We go back and forth. Sometimes it's good to have an intro. Sometimes it's not. You know, this one, I can't imagine the show without it. I really do think that the intro is part of what makes the show so beloved all these years later.
Yeah, I mean, can you separate the nostalgia? Like, can you say for sure that that's the case? Because I don't know if I could.
It's near impossible to be completely fair and pretend I've never heard it, but it's still a catchy song, right? Like
It is, yeah. I typically don't like long intros, but yeah, like you said, this one's too catchy, I think, to not like.
But I think the down version is, though. I think the parts they cut out, they smartly cut out because it's too much.
Yeah, and it still gets the point across, yeah.
I didn't like the elongated version. I liked the classic, 2 or 3 verse.
it's just too long of an intro.
Did you
Yeah.
guys not like it because you're used to the other one and we
Yes.
hate all change? Or
Yes.
A bit of that, but also I just think 1:49 is way too long.
I agree it's too long.
It's a song. That's a full song.
But you know what, Joe? You're a classic shows shouldn't be too long that cuts out of the show, really. You know what I mean? So the whole
Yes.
show was like, 22 minutes long. So this is like a 19 and change show, which is
18
good.
minutes when it comes back in.
As a note taker, not complaining, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also like a long outro, like full credit outro. So yeah, so the episode itself, there's not a lot of meat and potatoes inside of the episode. So we get out of it, and it's kind of perfect in this way. And it's funny because if you're not, used to watching the pilot episode, we've watched the intro so many times, it kind of ends with, Will getting dropped off at his uncle and aunt's house where he's going to go live. He tells the story about how basically, skipping over it. Yeah, he got into a fight, he lived in Philly, and his mom's like, that's it. You're going to live with your uncle and aunt in Bel-Air.
Can I just say about the fight in Bel-Air? Like, come on, he's just being spun around.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, though. Why does the fight start? Because a jump ball from a basketball game goes out of bounds and just lands near some guys. And they're like, how fucking dare
No,
you?
it bounces off his head.
I always wondered this because you can't really tell. It's like, and it's shot in a weird frame rate. It does look like it bounces off of his head, but I also can't tell if maybe it just missed the bounce off the ground and it looked like it bounced off his head. But having said that, this is just a dramatization of what really happened.
Yes, that's also true.
Yeah, that's why it's not the real mom.
Right, yeah. So it's just an embellished version, I guess maybe more PC for the intro. But yeah, I imagine the real circumstances were a little more serious.
The show does get serious later on, too, with violence and gang stuff, too, I guess. So they do
The
pull
Carlton Gun episode.
Carlton
Yeah, I
Gunn
forgot about
episode.
that.
Or where Carlton pretends he's a gangster. He keeps saying douche marks instead of Deutsch marks. That's a great fucking episode.
Again, to watch this episode, the first episode again, it's interesting because they do seamlessly go from the intro to the start of the episode, in that the intro ends with him knocking on the door of his uncle and aunt's house for the first time. And then when we flash to the actual beginning of the episode post-intro, there he is at the door, knocking on the door to come in. He's knocking on the door in like a rhythmic way. You see from the inside, Jeffrey the butler just kind of standing around, taking his time getting the door as you hear the knock. The knock's kind of like in the We Will Rock You. I thought he was doing that at first, but it turns out he's actually doing Soul to Soul, which is a Back to Life.
Yeah, back to reality.
Yeah, he really likes that song because you hear it twice.
The two songs he sings in this are That Twice and a Beethoven song, where he plays Beethoven on the piano. You're like, what a varied interest in music.
So yeah, so he's doing like the Back to Life song. Eventually, Jeffrey, who's again taking his time, eventually has nothing left he can do to stall, so he opens up the door. As soon as he does, Will's like, hey, Uncle Phil, how you doing? Gives him a big hug. He's like, I am not your Uncle Philip. And he's like, oh, my fault, man. And he thinks maybe he's at the wrong place. He's like, no, you're at the right house. I'm Jeffrey. I'm the butler. Also, it's important to note, Jeffrey, British, but I'm not going to do a British accent through this entire episode, but Jeffrey, iconically British accent.
How about you iconically do a Bobcat Goldthwait accent?
Do a British Bobcat Goldthwait.
I don't.
Gordo, you do a British Bob.
I'm a talking bunny, mate.
That's Australian.
Yeah, mate is classically Australian.
Fine. Me. I'm a talking bunny water bottle.
That's just like Cockney.
Yeah, you're just doing a Cockney thing.
accent.
A for effort, though. I'm glad you
Right?
tried it.
That much better.
I do like English Bobcat Goldthwait, though, being in Bobby Academy instead of Police Academy. I want to see that version of that movie.
Oh, you mean Bobby Cat Goldthwait?
Hey.
Hey,
Not
I'll
the
give it to
worst
you.
joke you've ever told you.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'm not going to fight that.
that was quick. That was good.
Will's quick to mimic that accent as well, and he's saying like, "Oh, cheerio," and all that rot, and he's doing his like thing, and Jeffrey's like, "Let me show you to your room," and he's like, "Hey, can you just call me Will?" He's like, "I don't really like the the sound of the master thing," and he's kind of talking about the he's doing like the whole like talking about like slavery times essentially.
I was really waiting to see if you were going to go into that. Yeah, I was like, how's Jay going to handle saying that?
I'm not going to mimic it the way he did it, but he does a voice, and he's, saying like, the whole Colin and Master stuff is like, harkens back to something that you really want to be associated with.
He says it's like being back on the plantations.
Yeah.
I do appreciate, though, this is very, like, they do a good job of being like, we're trying to break down racial walls in a humorous way, but then also are serious about things.
Like
too.
addressing them, yeah.
Yeah, like when he's talking to Uncle Phil later, it's very serious. And then the end is like the most goofy racial joke of all time, where it's like they really hit every kind of mark you could.
Joe's famous for that. I love when Uncle Phil gets serious in episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like, ooh, you're getting yelled at like by your dad. Like,
He's asking Jeffrey, like, hey, could you call me something different? Like, well, what do you prefer? He's like, all right, how about this? His royal freshness. Jeffrey doesn't even like entertain it. He goes, Master William, walk this way. Now, what's funny though, he's calling him Master William, calling him by his proper name. That's what he's supposed to do, right? And this is one of the many shows where we've talked about this, where people play like he's Will Smith in real life. He plays Will Smith. But Will Smith in real life's name is not William. He's Willard Smith.
You know, I always want, in way before we ever did this podcast, and I was just watching this show, I always wondered. Later on in this episode, Ashley makes him a poster and says it's something along the lines of "Welcome, Will."
I noticed that too.
Me too.
She spells it W-I-L. No, there's not two L's. Always, like, I'm talking since I was like 10. This has bugged me, or however old I was. But like, is W-I-L how you spell Will when it's short for Willard?
No,
There's two
because he's
L's
always
involved,
been
though,
no.
yeah.
Maybe Ashley's just stupid.
I think he's a child. I think it's,
Yeah, I'd say more
that's-
she's a child, but I feel like she's old enough to know how to spell Will, probably.
Willard is spelt with two L's. So
Right. So I'm thinking it's a prop master fuck up.
yeah, it's probably something along those lines. But yeah, I think it is funny that the whole point is that he needs to go by his proper name, and he plays himself. Well, a character, a fake version of himself. But Will Smith plays Will Smith, but not quite, because he's actually Willard Smith, not William Smith.
Nick and I had a boss for years whose name was Edmund, but went by Ed. And there was one customer who'd come in all the time and just go, Edward, every time he walked in. And you could just see Ed like seething, but like hated the guy and didn't want to even engage.
Yeah.
I think about that anytime the name Edmund comes up. So I can see Will just being like, just call me William, whatever.
There's a point where like certain people, it's just like not worth correcting. But yeah.
That's your butler, though.
No, but I think in the show his name is William. It's just weird that they changed his name just that much.
Yeah. That happened on another show we did, and I can't remember which one it was. It was a female character, and they just changed it ever so slightly. What the fuck was it?
We've gone over a bunch. Like Mary Tyler Moore becomes Mary Richards. Tony Danza is always Tony.
Tony's Tony constantly.
Right around here is when Uncle Phil and Aunt Vivian walk in for the first time, and he greets them. And she's like, oh, look at you, turn around. Like, I haven't seen you since you were this funny little boy. And now look at you, like, look how grown you are. And, nothing uncommon that you would have if you're seeing your aunt for the first time in a while. And then Uncle Phil's like, it's amazing. You certainly have grown well. And he's like, we all have. And he, like, pats him on the stomach.
My first laugh.
I mean, obviously, like, a runner for the entire series, him always making fun of his uncle's weight. But, man, like, you haven't seen him in a long time. He's inviting you into his home to live with you. And the very first time you speak to him is to make fun of his weight.
I mean, I think that's just kind of probably setting the tone for their relationship's start, because he is a little disrespectful, and it kind of justifies Uncle Phil's anger later a little bit.
I find it interesting that like they're all like, I haven't seen you in so long. Like the fact that he's like full grown, Uncle Phil's like fat now. He doesn't remember Carlton.
Yeah.
He's meeting Ashley for the first time. But I know this is cheating, but if you watch the show, the family stops in all the time. So how do they not never
Right.
see each other?
Yeah, his mom becomes like a character all the time.
But yeah, maybe now that Will's there, it keeps his mom.
Yeah, but the other relatives all show up. Like, what were they doing on holidays? Are they not meeting up on holidays and stuff?
Maybe we're supposed to get the idea though that like Viv and Phil have like become a sober crust. They don't want to like associate, have people there.
Yeah, it's tough. And like, I really don't want to use too much future knowledge. It's so tough with these shows.
Yeah,
but
everybody knows the show.
trying to go into it, as legitimate as we can here. But, so now Phil's asking him, well, how was your trip? Like, how was the plane ride? He's like, oh man, like the plane ride was stupid all over. He's like, excuse me? He's like, no, I'm saying it was dope. He's like, excuse me? He's like, no, not like that. It doesn't mean that. Like, and then he does like the really nerdy, like, how would you say it? Oh, the flight was really neat.
I laughed out loud. I had a few laugh out loud moments at
Me
this,
too.
and that was my first one. Yeah.
Funny, I say neat all the time now. Like my son makes fun of me.
Neat.
But
I would too, and now I'm going to.
Dad, why do you talk like a bitch?
that would
Yeah.
be very neat of you guys. All right.
So they ask Jeffrey to take Will up to his room. the two of them leave, and then you have Phil and Vivian talking, and he's like, do you see the way he was dressed? Like that language? And she's trying to remind Phil, like, when we were younger, you used to use slang too. Like, remember our first date? You took one look at me and you said, Vivian, that is a bad dress. Now, you could have just said it was a good dress. And he goes, I could have if I liked it. Actually, it was a bad dress.
Legit laughed at that.
I hated that because it didn't come off to me like he was kidding.
I thought he was kidding. Yeah.
He was so stern when he said it that I was like, that's just mean. Like, you're talking about your first date.
It was a bad dress.
It might have been, but I don't know. Like, looking at him, like, objectively now, this is the first time getting to know him. And she's trying to recount their first date together. And he's just, like, being insulting now. And, like, I don't know. It didn't hit me right.
He does replace wives, so.
He just got called fat. I think he earned one.
No, not by her.
Yeah, to Will. Will deserves a bit of shrapnel, probably not Viv.
So she says to him, well, that's stupid, and you can take that however you want.
I just find it strange that Uncle Phil doesn't know him.
Doesn't know him. Hasn't seen him in a long time.
He's 3,000 miles from him.
Yeah, they live on opposite sides of the country. They
What are you
don't
talking
really
about? He
like.
lives in West Philadelphia. A little bit further. A little bit closer.
Whoa.
It's not East Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Wait, wouldn't West Philadelphia be closer to the West Coast?
Yes, that's what I said. That was a
You
joke.
said a little further.
You said a little further.
Further that direction, I think, yeah. But
Your grasp of geography is wild to me.
they don't talk that often. I mean, and even if they did, like, even if Vivian talks to her sister once in a while, like, he obviously doesn't, like, Will doesn't have a relationship with these people. And, like, even if he did, he wouldn't be, like, on the phone chatting with his uncle by marriage all the time. Like, there's not, like, there's no reason for them to have, like, a tight relationship.
No, I think this is like indicative of like a real family situation, right? There are people in your family that
You just don't see often.
you just don't see that often, right? Yeah, it is a thing, especially if they move far, if you don't live close to them. I've got people in my family who live super far away. You see them every few years and pretty much it, unless you're making a trek out there,
Right around this time, Ashley, the youngest of their children, walks in and says hi to her parents. Will re-enters. They get acquainted to one another. So this is the first time Will and Ashley meet. We were talking about that earlier. And she's in like her like school uniform. So he comments on that right away. Like, oh, hi, my little Scottish cousin. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I thought this was weird.
But he's cute.
He's like, oh, he's cute. And then the mom's like, I know he is. It's like, what is this? This is weird.
Are they by marriage too? They in Bel-Air, Alabama? Or are they in Bel-Air, California? That would explain. They could be a little closer if they were in Bel-Air, Alabama.
I apologize to our Alabama listeners right now. Jesus Christ,
I don't.
Gordo.
That's all right, Joe. I don't mind.
Gordo, who gets so mad at me if I would make fun of Florida, all of a sudden is like, fuck you, Alabama.
I don't get no.
That's me that gets mad at you when you make
Hold on, it's not even
Florida.
that. I mean, if you really want to dissect what Gordo said, he asked if that was his cousin by marriage, which not how that worked.
I didn't think about that. God, you're fucking stupid. Let's move on. Like,
I didn't get my beauty sleep today. You guys made me go early today.
A half hour. Anyways,
I like to nap.
so no, I don't know. I just thought that like that whole thing, because even after that, like just the way like Ashley talks to him the rest of the scene, which isn't a lot, comes off like she's very smitten by him. And it's just like,
Yeah, it's weird.
No, I take it more as like she just thinks he's so cool.
yeah, that's what I got. You guys just have dirty
cool and
minds.
cute are different words. When you first see him and go, he's cute. Like, that's not like, oh man, my older cousin's the coolest.
Maybe it's 90s slang that we don't know about.
We were around.
I know we were around, but we never used the word stupid back then, and that was apparently...
Yeah, we did.
Well, we used it, but in a very different context. We use it still constantly.
I spent the entirety of the 90s going, man, my friends are so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and you guys said, man, he's cool. That's what you guys meant, right? When you guys just
That's
called
what
him
we
dumb?
meant. Yeah,
Sure,
that also
man,
meant cool.
yeah.
Everything means cool. Cute,
Sure.
stupid, it all means cool.
I wish it was cool right now. It's like 100 degrees in this room. I would kill for some cool.
So Will finds out some of the amenities they have. They have a pool, they have a tennis court. Like, wow, this is better than the Love Boat.
I can't think of a bigger waste of space than a tennis court.
Agreed.
And this is coming. This is from somebody who like I enjoy like pickleball, which you need a roughly the same size. I would not waste the space I have on a fucking court like that. Like,
Ironically, I had an uncle and aunt and cousins who had a tennis court in their backyard. but they had a huge backyard.
How often was it used is what I want to know.
I don't know. I mean, but it's one of those, at the end of the day, if you're not playing tennis, you can still like throw a table and chairs there if you're having a barbecue. It's not like it's off limits territory. You can do other stuff.
I don't know. I can think of 1,000 other things that you could do with that square footage. Then,
especially if like most of your yard is if it's all grass, you can also use that like, oh, the kids are playing with chalk. Like there's things you can do.
Also, from what I understand, they have plenty of space, so I don't think it matters.
I mean, they have a pool house that's so big, Will and Carlton move into it at one point.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's talking about how, like, wow, with all this, he's going to be maxing and relaxing. And Phil's like, no, like, hold on. Like, we promised your mother you're going to be here, like, working hard. We're going to straighten you out. You're going to learn some good old-fashioned American values. No sooner does he say that, enters their oldest daughter, Hillary, who just walks in and goes, Dad, I need $300.
She's also carrying about 15 shopping bags.
Yeah.
Which for inflation, by the way, right now is about $750. So when we talk about what she needs that money for, that's the dollar amount we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And they're going, Hillary, your cousin Will's here. And she goes, hi. And then turns back around, Dad, I need $300. Now, obviously, this is the contrast to the, learning good old-fashioned American values. And then you have a daughter who's spoiled rotten and is no way in touch with, like, the world.
Yep.
I had such a crush on Hillary when I was young.
What's funny?
Gorgeous. I mean,
she is. I wouldn't say in the whole run of the show, I mean, she was objectively an attractive woman, don't get me wrong. But I found her way more attractive in Major Pain.
I mean, it's funny, but when I was like thinking of everybody and I was like, I know this person from this, and I thought of her, I was like,
this is Karen Parsons, by the way.
I was like, it's her, it's this and Major Pain, or what I think of.
She's not in a ton of notable things.
In Major Pain, I was like, wow. I mean, she's obviously like the love interest in it and one of very few women in the movie, so maybe it catches your eye more.
It's children, Damon Wayans, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Hillary. Yeah, you're gonna go for Hillary.
So I guess your eye definitely triggers in one direction. But yeah, and don't forget, oh man, I hate fucking going ahead. And then, later in this show, she ends up doing that Playboy spread and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Her character goes through the rigor. She does everything. She like basically turns into Oprah at one point.
Her husband dies in a hilarious bungee jumping accident, which is maybe one of the
Yes, Trevor.
That's how fucking dumb this show is and how big it's in our brain that everyone just started quoting Trevor's death scene fucking 30 years later.
It's iconic.
It really is. It really, really is.
It is.
They ask her what she needs this $300 for. Apparently, just for a hat.
Everybody here wears hats to some capacity. What's the most anyone here's ever spent on a hat?
Whatever they cost at Lids, because
55?
Like 50, 60 on like a scally cap.
I'll say this. I am a big wearer of fitted hats, and they've gone up a lot over the years. They used to be like 20-something bucks. Now they're close to 50 each. And I do buy like multiple at a time. So I've spent over the years, I'd hate to think of it, but realistically, definitely thousands of dollars on fitted hats.
Yep.
Over the years, but not on one. Like I wouldn't buy one hat for $300. Joe, you wear women's military hats. What do those cost?
Again, this is a Greek fisherman's cap. It is a classic hat.
Don't worry, one of the Fraggles wore a hat like his.
I always think that we're watching a lot of Fraggles right now, and I always laugh because he's wearing the same hat as me. I forget his name. He's the one who does all the laundry.
The serious one. I can't think of his name.
Do you have multiple of those hats, Joe, or is there just one?
I buy like 2 at a time just because the cotton that they're made of, there's like twill or whatever, right? So if you wear it in the summertime, like they just get so sun bleached.
Conversation's twilling.
Yeah, and if any of you guys listening are curious, is Google women's military hat and you will see the exact same hat.
Google Greek fisherman's cap or Google the cool Fraggle.
So I have Googled, this is not going to, I mean, maybe this will be a clip, but I have Googled Greek fisherman's cap. This is what comes up.
Well, that baby has a lot of style. But also on the Fraggle thing, as we discussed, when Callie said it looked like a sock, it was the thing I always say. Kids always say it looked like a Muppet. And that's right there. It's the goofy features and the big hat.
Do you get yours at jiffy.com?
No, I buy them from a place called Straight to Hell. Anybody wants a really cool hat, straightttohell.com.
Organic cotton twill core hat. Yeah, I mean, it's just so here's women's military hat.
Oh, please stop wearing that one in the middle.
The West Point one.
Yeah.
This one on the mannequin. Yeah,
Joe, please stop wearing that.
I feel like if I do that, I'm gonna get like beaten up for stolen valor from somebody, and some woman's gonna kick the shit out of me.
What if you get in a fight? Maybe your parents will send you to Bel-Air to live with your rich
Hey,
uncle.
Joe, that would be a better story for your broken arm.
That's true. I got beat up by a girl for wearing a women's hat.
With my ex license plate, my ex driver's license.
What?
My ex-driver's license.
Are you malfunctioning?
The heat is not doing well for you tonight.
Joe has said in prior episodes that he has a female driver's license.
Oh, I do. Yeah. Yeah, the state of Maine issued me as a female on my driver's license, and I don't care about that sort of stuff, but people at the DMV, when I brought it up, got really mad about it at me, and I had to just walk away.
They're asking Hillary what she needs the hat for, and she's saying that she's going to a Save the Ozone celebrity bus thing next Saturday. Quite the list. It's going to have Bruce Willis, Demi, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, or Charlie Sheen. She wasn't sure which one. And they're going to take a bus all over town to protest air pollution. Then they're going to motor to the beach and have a big bonfire. And then Will raises his hand. He goes, "Hey, I'm not an expert or anything, but don't you think driving a big old bus around town and then having a bonfire sort of adding to the problem of pollution?"
This is funny.
This is funny, and I think it really is a good skewering of that type of person, right? Where the fake cause people. This made me sad too, though, because we grew up in being like the Brat Pack is the coolest because we came to those movies a little later, right? Like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club were all 10 years old when we started watching them, and we thought they were the coolest people in the world. But at that point, the fade was on for a lot of those folks at that time. I think 1990 was maybe the last big year. This is probably the same year as St. Elmo's Fire, maybe? Or is it even after that?
And Emilio was about to get his resurgence with Mighty Ducks. It's fine.
That's true. And this is maybe, actually, I think, is it 90 or 91 that Men at Work comes out with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez? One of the greatest comedy movies of the entire 1990s.
We cut to a little bit later now. Will's in his new room. And again, he's dancing to that Soul to Soul song. And as he's dancing, he has his Malcolm X poster he put in his room that he's stapling to the wall. And he'll dance a little and jump over and hit it with the staple gun. I've never stapled a poster to a wall. I used to use push pins as a kid, and now it has to be framed for me to hang it up. But
I've stapled posters to a telephone pole, but never to my wall.
Yeah.
I don't even think the thought ever even entered my brain to just staple it to the wall.
No.
Because you're ruining the wall and the poster.
Well, push pins did the same thing. I mean, I used to put push pins in.
Yeah.
Not to the same degree.
To a lesser degree, a staple is a smaller hole than a push
It's
pin.
one less hole. It's literally 50% less holes in the wall.
And if you pull a staple, you have a piece that also rips out because it goes under.
You think it happens like that when you put it in a wall? It doesn't
No,
fold
it
in.
stays straight, Gordo.
Yeah, no, the bottom part of the stapler. Gordo doesn't know how staplers work.
Add that to this. Gordon doesn't know how staples
automatically curve.
They curve with a stapler because it's the metal piece in the bottom. After it hits the paper, it folds it in. If you just hit a wall with it, it just stays pointy.
I think you just killed Nick.
See, Gordo, hold on. We can show him. Gordo, see, this is a stapler.
Yeah.
And you see the bottom of the stapler, which I can't open right now, is what curves the staple in down there. That little indent. It's not going to focus, but
Next, show him what happens. Show him what happens when you spin it.
Yeah, can you hit one staple just into your hand without having it press the bottom? Show them what the staple looks like.
then when you just hit it, it comes out like that.
Oh.
Straight. I want to know what magic you thought happened.
I thought you
To get-
hits it and it curls it in.
But with what? What would curve it in? If you put
The wall.
That's not how physics work.
But if the wall closed it, it would never go into the wall. The wall itself would
But
curve
it goes into the wall because it's a force.
If you hit a stud, it would probably close on the stud. But if you're just going into drywall, it's just going to go.
No, it would just
flat into
bend
it.
on a stud. That's curved for the staple itself to be like that.
I did not know that.
What's a crazy thing I was thinking about this when he's stapling in the Malcolm X poster is that Malcolm X had died 25 years before this. And his kids, that feels like 1965 was a billion years ago. But now that would be something that happened in 2000. So like if you had a poster from 2000 on your wall, it would be the equivalent here. I would just find that stuff so fascinating where like Malcolm X, like the 60s, that seems like so far ago, but like, I don't know, 9/11 was as far away now. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing how time works.
It's like, what are you talking, like almost like Heath Ledger right around that time or something?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, like I've had a Never Been Kissed poster on my wall. It would be the equivalent.
Yokozuna would apply. He died in October 23rd, 2000.
wow.
Oh, okay. So if we had a Yokozuna poster on our wall, which I feel like we all probably had at least a couple of Yokozuna pictures, right? Like you had the
Yeah,
pause.
not like just a one-off poster of him, but yeah.
Gigantic
Giant
poster.
Yokozuna poster on your wall.
I got a Yoko figure up on my wall, actually. Anyways, right around this time is when Jeffrey walks into Will's room and he's like, hey, I got you, something for you. And it's a suit. And Will's going, oh, but I didn't get you anything. And Jeffrey's saying, your uncle he invited a lot of partners from the law firm for a dinner. When he originally planned this, he didn't know that you were going to be coming here at this time. So it was too late to cancel.
See, that confused me. How sudden was this move? Like,
Yeah.
did he get in a fight and she just sent him there like the next day?
It sounds like what happened.
I mean,
yeah.
he got one little fight and his mom got scared. Yeah.
We were joking about how non-serious it seems in the song, but like maybe it was something so bad where it's like the gang's after him and they want to kill him, you know, and he's like, fuck, I gotta leave tomorrow, you know.
And it also sounds like it wasn't just one little fight. Like this was a culmination of issues that had probably led to it.
But also, like, even if he knew he was coming ahead of time, like, this is going to be your life from now on. Your nephew lives here. You would cancel the whole dinner?
Yeah, that's a little.
I also just think too, not to be a shithead or whatever, like, but Will's being a shithead. He, like, if you're having this party, you just show up and you say, hi, thank you. You're not like, oh, I don't feel comfortable here. Like, that's such a weird overreach on his part.
What would teenage Joe do?
What would I do? I would show up in the suit they give me. Yeah, and I'd say hello.
Hey, Woody would just put a giant button on it.
That's true. I put a button on my sling. I have a button on everything.
Oh, Joe, you look so nice in your tux and your giant stiff records button. That's with it.
It's a classic look. But still to that point, and I have worn a suit with Chucks before, and you put a button on, but you're still dressed nice. It's just like a little bit of personality. I've never had a cummerbund on my boobs. Like
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're not there quite yet. But so he's like, oh, we're having a party? Like, we're going to get stupid. He's like, Jeffrey's like, for some of us, that will require very little effort.
Jeffrey is so fucking great.
Ashley walks in holding the poster Nick was talking about earlier, the one that says "Welcome, Will." It's like with a flower drawing on it. He's like, "Oh, I got you something." He's like, "Oh, that's great." He's like, "At least I'm good at something. I tried out for school chorus here. I didn't get in." Like, how come? Like, well, when I auditioned, I couldn't remember all the words to the song, but the part I remembered was really good. He's like, "Oh, I'm sure it was. I bet you're deaf." She goes, "That's what she said." Like, no, not deaf. DEF. Just slang. It means terrific. Good. Like, oh, thanks.
It's also a different world, and we grew up in this world where a teacher would be like, you can't do chorus. What are you, fucking deaf? You suck at singing.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. We're like, you could never do that now, but back then it was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cannot be in the chorus. You suck at singing. Leave. Next.
You're untalented at this task.
You want to be in the stage crew?
I felt like this was the scene where they were like, we need the audience to know that Will's a rapper in real life. So
Yeah, oh yeah, that's exactly.
So he recommends to Ashley, like, oh, you should try being a rapper. And when you're rapping, if you mess up the words, you can just make up new ones. He's like, let's try. He's like, I'll sing a line and then you make up a line next to it that'll rhyme. So, okay. And he starts with, all right, you didn't get into Mrs. Berkeley's chorus. And I remember, even while I'm watching, I'm like, that's a tough first rhyme. Chorus is kind of tough.
Yeah, there's not a lot of words with chorus.
Maybe start with a cat.
Whore ass.
You rhyme chorus with whore ass, which also is a hyphenated term, I believe.
I
don't think
I
that's an
respect
actual
it.
word.
It still rhymed.
It doesn't quite rhyme, actually.
What would you rhyme chorus with?
Thesaurus, just like Ashley did. Porous.
It bore us.
Porrance?
Porous.
Porous. Like a drywall when you put a staple in it, you fucking idiot.
That means I'm cool, right?
Nice. Got him.
I love you, Gordo.
I actually, when Ashley finally got that line out too, I was like, pretty good. I don't think I would have came up with this story. So they go back and forth. They do a few lines each, and she's rapping along with them, and they have like their little moment.
Their relationship is sweet.
Yeah, like the two of them bond right away, which makes sense because even though Will is, well, we don't really know where he falls in line with them at this point. You know that he's, well, I guess we're to assume he's Carlton's age. So, like, cause, so.
I think they're within a year of each other.
Yeah, they got to be close.
Oh, they graduate together.
That's right, yeah.
Most identifies, like with maturity level with the youngest one. So that's why him and Ashley are so close. Right at this point, Uncle Phil and Carlton, who we just brought up, mentions this is their third child. We're finally meeting the last of their three kids. Uncle Phil's like, Ashley, honey, why don't you go downstairs and get ready for dinner? She leaves. Phil goes to Will like, hey, look who's here. Like, hey, who is he?
This was my second laugh out loud. It was so well delivered. It was, oh man, it was perfect.
And it's just like one. Carlton's like smugness, like again, almost every character changes a lot from this episode.
Oh yeah.
But like his, just the way he's like chest out, here I am. And he's like, I have no idea who you are.
I also think the line delivery is so funny because you'd be like, oh wow, who are you? Is what most people would say. So saying who is he? So eliminating him and not even talking to him and saying who is he and like totally cutting it back to Uncle Phil, I think is such a funny fucking way to do it.
So he's like, this is your cousin Carlton. Don't you remember when you two were little, people used to think you guys were twins? You looked exactly alike. Oh, I guess some things never change, referencing to the fact that Carlton's a lot smaller than Will is. And again, this is just like when he met Phil again for the first time. Like,
yeah,
I know they're family, but like, you're kind of being dicks to them, like unprompted. Like
they have moved him to a mansion in Bel-Air next to Ronald Reagan. He should maybe be a little nicer about what's going on. And I fucking hate Ronald Reagan. I'm just saying, like in the scenario
you love
here,
Ronald Reagan.
No, I love Nancy Reagan, the throat queen.
We'll talk about them later. The two of them start talking, and Carlton notices the poster. He's like, Malcolm X, huh? He's like, yeah, he's sort of my hero. Well, he was a great man. I don't know if I'd call him my hero. He's like, well, who's your hero? Well, my dad. And Bryant Gumbel. He's darn good.
I laughed super hard at that, but again, do you think Bryant Gumbel watched this and was like, yo, fucking shrapnel, I host a Today Show. What's wrong with me? What I do wrong? You know?
And then Carlton also, like, just to paint the picture, he's in, like, his plaid pants, and he's got his sweater wrapped around his shoulders, so.
He's in full, like, yuppie attire.
Super, like, Vineyard Vines.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, what is the Andy Bernard term? Is it a Nantucket casual?
Yeah, and then Will is wearing like this really bright T-shirt and a ball cap, more like a painter's kind of style. It's a very 90s hat.
I was gonna say, if you think 90s,
it actually looks like a cycling hat.
Yeah, it looks like a cycling hat with a bigger brim.
Yeah, and like some shorts. So like they come from two completely different worlds, and you can just see it by watching the two of them stand next to each other. Phil's like, oh, I see they brought your tuxedo. He's like, tell me something, Will. Have you ever attended a formal dinner before? He's like, well, other than that thing at Buckingham Palace, no. He's like, all right, well, just remember, relax, enjoy yourself, and when in doubt, act, do whatever Carlton's doing. And they look over, and Carlton's doing like a little fake practice, like golf swing to himself.
I always liked that weird, like, yuppie, preppy thing where it's like they practice their golf swing because it's such a funny thing to do. Like, you can't do that with a baseball bat, a golf club, a skateboard, a fucking rollerblades, like whatever. Like, you can't just hit the air and have it be practice for anything. It's so weird.
I gotta argue a little bit. There was a time where I used to like, I don't know, it was just like a boredom tick, but I used to
still do it. I was just gonna bring this up. Jay swings a fake bat all the time.
Yeah, I would always fake swing a bat.
No, that's fine. You can do it as a tick. I'm just saying it doesn't make you better at swinging a bat. If somebody put a bat in your hand and said, here's the batting cages, you wouldn't be like shooting them out of the park because you swing through the air every day.
You can pretend you're swinging a golf club, but if there's no golf club in your hand, there's no way that you're actually going to get any better with your mechanics.
Yeah, but it's about remembering your form.
Yeah, but without the tool, it's like impossible to mimic,
I mean, baseball bats, like batters especially, will put weights on the bats in the circle, right? To like,
that's for power.
That's to help with your swing speed. Because if you're swinging a heavier bat, then you take the weight off. When you actually go to swing, you'll
go
get
faster.
quicker.
But like the opposite of that is to have nothing in your hand. That doesn't help your speed or anything.
This bat is so heavy now.
I will say, next time we all do get together, can we do like a batting cages driving range day?
Only if record it and make a montage of like the Go-Go's playing as we're doing all these activities.
Sold.
We got to do it before the summer's over.
We're gonna do it in 4 years. Who are you kidding?
We've all seen each other more in the past couple of years, I think, than we had previously in a while. People have seen each other a little more often.
No, we've been on a better, slightly, yeah. Well, really once with all of us, but slightly
I
better.
was saying once with all of us, but like we've seen each other at different times more than we have. But yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, and also like the good thing about the batting cages and the driving ranges, they're indoor ones too, so we can do it in the winter.
Plus, in a few more weeks, Joe's going to be able to throw a baseball 150 miles an hour.
It's gonna be like the most depressing thing when I can't do anything anymore. Where it's like I just actually can't like play guitar. I can't throw a baseball faster. I just can't do anything. I can't pour a glass of water.
Joe just broke his wrist. He's gonna be able to high-speed jerk off.
No complaints if that's the case. Yeah, you're all laughing, and I'm like, that'd be great. Sure, save some time. I'm all about efficiency. Okay.
Well, moving right along, Uncle Phil exits. Carlton's going, that really is a neat text, though, isn't it, Will? He's like, oh, yeah, definitely the cat's meow. He's like, just wait till we come down in those tuxes. People may not think we're twins, but I bet they'll think we're brothers. He's like, I don't think they're going to have to worry about anybody mistaking you for a brother.
He's being so friendly and nice, and why is he gonna be a dick? I know that's their relationship, and it's hilarious. I laugh at it, but I'm still like, Will's pissing me off.
When you look back, I mean, it's one of the, like, I know it's kind of like how the whole show works, but like as we go on and you watch future episodes, you understand, like, Carlton can be annoying at times, blah blah blah, and there's a reason. But like here, yeah, he's being introduced to us, and Will's is being a dickhead to everybody. Now, I do like, though, and we'll talk about it as we get along, it is kind of addressed later. Like, you find out that there is a bit of deliberate rebellion to Will's attitude early in the episode, even though he's not being aggressive, but there is like a passiveness, and it gets identified.
I feel like they could have done this better. It's just because you kind of get the reasoning for it later on in the episode, but up until then, yeah, he does just seem kind of like a dick for no reason to people who are trying to help him, and I don't know. I feel like that could have been written better.
I feel like this episode as a whole has very weird pacing to it. There's just a lot of stuff just seems very odd to me. I don't know. And it could be me just knowing too much about what the show becomes, but just a lot of things seem very slow, and I don't know, just the order at which some of the stuff happened didn't quite work for me, but as we go along.
How do you think I felt when I thought there was a whole other subplot coming soon when he gets her drum sets? Like, there doesn't seem that much time for drums.
Because this is a sitcom that was developed for a person, right? Like this wasn't a sitcom that Will Smith went and auditioned for and then got the part. Like this was built for him.
Sure, but there's a lot of shows like that. Like, I mean, I would say half the 90s sitcoms are built around whatever hack stand-up got a show,
Oh.
Yeah, I mean the stand-up ones for sure. Yeah, like when you think of like Tim Allen and
there's a lot of them when you go over the yeah.
But still, I mean that's it. I mean that is the same, yeah. But they're at least in the realm of acting, right? This also relies on Will being a good actor, which I mean, if you really want to break it down, he's not in this point in his career.
But I wouldn't say he's doing any bad of a job acting. Like the fact that he's a dick isn't because Will's acting like a dick. Like this is what the story's written.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying is you were talking about how it's paced differently, and I'm saying this is maybe why.
I don't know. I just think that obviously we'll talk about it more, but I just feel like there are a lot of things in this episode that like weren't, I don't know, they didn't really know what the show was yet.
Yeah.
They just kind of knew that like there's going to be this whole like contrast between someone coming from Philly, going to live with his upscale family, and like hilarity ensues. But I don't think they really fleshed out the dynamics of all the characters and stuff.
This is slightly off topic, but something I just thought of. So, because I was thinking of Gordo and these sitcoms, right? So Gordo loved that Larry the Cable Guy health inspector movie. He had the poster on his wall.
That checks.
To be fair, that movie is like a terribly funny movie or whatever, right? But they were like doing that thing where it's like your thing is what make you the sitcom of. But they made the movie Cable Guy, so they couldn't let Larry Cable Guy movie be the Cable Guy. So they made it a health inspector. In an alternate universe, if the Jim Carrey movie was The Health Inspector, would Larry the Cable Guy's movie be Larry the Cable Guy?
Health inspector.
Steven, my health inspector lisp is gone.
Steven?
I could have got you free health.
Somebody has to kill the kitchen cleaner.
So, this scene ends. Carlton walks out. Will looks at himself in the mirror, and like his reflection he sees back is him dressed the way Carlton is, like with the sweater around his shoulders and stuff. And like he screams. Nice, quick little visual gag, like whatever. And I like that they don't do too much of that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of fantastical stuff that can happen that isn't real, but it happens real quick here, and that's it. Next scene, we're back in the living room, and the formal party is underway. And there's maybe like a dozen or so people there. Pans over, and you see Phil and Vivian talking over at the side, like near the fireplace. And Phil's like, "Where is he? He's upstairs changing." "No, not Will. President Reagan." "You didn't." "What do you mean I didn't? You invited him again? Why not? He's our neighbor." "Philip, he turned down the last 16 invitations. Like, why? When are you going to get the hint?"
Well, I'm sorry, Phil, but I'm not going to come to your party.
"Been very busy?"
The fur coat is busy tonight.
Well.
Also, in 1990, Ronald Reagan was like full fucking blown dementia. So he was invited 16 times, but he had no idea he was invited to any of those parties.
Phil goes, "Maybe I should call his house." He goes, "Philip, I don't want him here." "Why not?" "Because he'll bring her."
I love that. Nobody likes Nancy Reagan. War on Drugs was a fucking bunch of bullshit. If you're doing a show about like urban life and like the struggles it caused,
Oh yeah.
the War on Drugs shit from the 80s is like such a direct opposition, and how many people got sent to jail for no fucking reason. Like, I totally get that. I think it's a very well written sort of little piece of kind of humor to be like, fuck Nancy Reagan.
It is kind of interesting in like the thought of like, yeah, like you go from being the president, and then at some point like that term does end, and you still have Secret Service and stuff forever, but like you need like a house, and like you don't really function in society after that. Like you can't just like go to Target and like have that be normal. But
only Jimmy Carter, he's like the only one who just like moved back to his small town and was like,
"Can I get my peanut farm back?"
I just want peanuts again. Like, all right, fuck, you can come back here if you want, sure.
Man started building houses.
Yeah, I feel like there's no one who's like, he's like one of the few that like nobody's ever mad. Everyone's like, Jimmy Carter, like, yeah, he's all right. He's okay. He's fine. Let him go.
Hey, George Bush Sr. moved to Springfield.
He did. He wrote a book.
Two bad neighbors. Bar, the mower's gone loco.
But like, imagine like just like having whatever property and being like, "Oh, who's moving in?" Like, "Oh, President so-and-so's moving next door." Like, "Oh, that's going to be weird."
No, that would be amazing, because then you could sell your property for probably way more fucking money than it was worth.
After that, we cut over and you see Hillary, and she's talking to somebody, and she's basically just kind of going over the whole thing about the pollution cause that she's working on, and kind of name dropping all the celebrities that she's working with, and she's saying how serious of a problem it is, and like it's a passion of hers. And the woman she's talking to is like, "Oh, where can I send a donation?" "I don't know."
A perfect like one-shot line to be like, this is how vapid this woman is, right? Like you don't need to like concentrate on the whole episode. I think it did a good job of like giving little bits of everyone's character.
After that, you cut over and you're like in, like it's the perspective from like in the hallway, and Will's about to enter the party, and you like hear like a beat playing in the background, and it cuts over, and you see like how he's dressed, and you talked about it a little bit, Joe, earlier, but he's got his pants on, he's got the coat on, but he's got the cummerbunds around like a bra basically, but he's wearing a t-shirt, like a bright t-shirt under it. He still has his hat from earlier.
Tie around his neck.
Yeah, bow tie.
But honestly, it's not that any of it looks good. Like you shouldn't have the hat on, you shouldn't have the graphic tee on. It's the cummerbund around like his chest that makes it look ultra silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And again, not to jump ahead, but like later he will like wear his coat inside out.
Yeah.
Because it's got a pattern on it, but he still has his tie and his slacks and everything. And you're like, okay, that's like your rebellion to make this look more like you. But it's not silly.
Now, I'll say it's not, I don't feel like we're quite at this in 1990 yet, but it did get a little in vogue for a while for people to wear like a suit jacket with jeans. You know what I mean? Like that was like a
Very
thing.
Miami Vice.
That is actually still in vogue in Europe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still not. I think it's still here.
It's
I've
here
seen it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any wedding I've ever gone to where I wasn't part of the wedding, suit jacket and jeans, 1,000%.
But I mean, like seeing someone wear a suit jacket with like a t-shirt under it.
That's Silicon Valley shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that went away now. Now the big thing is you wear a button up and a suit coat, but no tie. and like the front collar
And like
buttons.
basketball shoes.
Yeah, that's what the
I
big
hate
thing now
that
is like
look.
the tie
Yeah.
thing has gone away.
I work in like business casual. I have never worn a tie at work. Never once.
We've talked about this stuff before. I don't wear a tie at work, but I like wearing a tie at formal occasions, like at a wedding.
I hate it.
I take it off as soon as humanly possible. Well, time to eat? Whoop!
Me too, but you just have to tie that tie. Like, I have to tie my tie so like the one half that I'm wrapping, like the back end of the tie has to be as small as humanly possible for me to tie a tie and have it like drape as low as it needs to.
That's a weird thing too, though. Like I think of the things that go away, like cursive is not a thing they teach anymore. Math is different.
I thought you were going to
sure
say curses.
curses are gone. No, if curses were gone, I'd be able to eat fucking bread right now. I don't know how many like kids are able to like tie ties now, or like people in general, like because it's just not that big of a deal anymore.
It's not just a kid thing. I can't tie a tie.
But you're a giant child.
No, I have to
Can't
watch a
tie.
YouTube video every time.
Every
And
time? I mean, I only know one knot, but I know how to do the one
I
knot.
don't wear a tie very often.
I have all of my ties. I tie once and then I unslip it and then I hang it on a tie rack already tied. And then I just bloop, bloop, done.
No, I can tie a tie, but I don't know if you've ever seen. There's like I saw a video online before, and then I tried it out of curiosity. I grabbed a tie, and someone like tied a tie using their forearm. They just wrap it around their forearm a certain way, and you pull it. And it's like perfect. I'll try to find the video and send it to you guys. I tried it after I saw the video. I'm like, and it worked.
There was a point in my life where I wore ties a lot. Like I had like 3 or 4 like skinny ties I wore with like button ups, just like everyday wear or whatever. And I went and found a place that made costumes for like Broadway plays or whatever. So it's ties, but they had like a button in the back. So you tie it once and you just like unclip the button to take it off because it's like quick to take it off for like a play or whatever. And I was like, this is the most genius thing that ever existed. But I lost all of those and now I just have like 2 ties that are pre-tied.
You come off as someone who would own. Do you own a piano key tie? I could.
Yeah, or a fish tie.
No, I've got one long...
Joe doesn't look like a guy who has a fish tie. You just want to
No.
bring up a fish tie. You look like a guy who has a fish tie.
Yeah, I've got a polka dot tie that I wear a lot, like a black with white polka dots, but I don't have a piano one.
I have a black one and a striped one.
I have a bunch of ties.
Try not to reinvent
Yeah, I have
the wheel.
I've got a bunch of ties.
I have some from weddings, right? Because like you go to somebody's wedding and like the color of the wedding is like if you're like in the wedding party or whatever, it's like, oh, you have like an electric blue tie for this wedding, and like you're never gonna wear that again because it's such a weird specific thing.
They give you that.
That's what I'm saying. You keep it. I didn't never throw them
Yeah.
away, so I have like a pile of those ties that I'll never wear again.
Yeah, I was in Joe's wedding. I have a blue tie from it that I'm never gonna wear again, but I have it. Like,
Yeah, it's like same thing, right? And like that, and like I have the same one and from other weddings.
anyways, he walks in. As soon as he walks in, Uncle Phil's like, "Oh my god!" And
His reaction killed me.
he's like, "Phil, don't make a big thing out of it. This is just how he feels comfortable. He's not killing anyone." And this is what I didn't quite understand. After they do that, there's this really tight close up of his face, and he's making like he's grinning like he's mentally handicapped.
He's doing the Tim Curry from Stolen Credit Card grin from Home Alone 2.
They cut. He
That's
has
it.
this goofy smile on his face, and then you just see him walking around like just unaware of where he is. And I'm like, what are they trying to portray right now?
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair, Aunt Viv is excessively forgiving here because this is ridiculous.
but that's her sister's kid.
I get it, but
If you waited till later on in the series, she would have stuck up for Will, and then she would have been the one that snapped at him, like, everyone's doing this for you, and blah, blah, blah. I've gone to
true.
bat for you, and you're acting like an idiot. Like,
This is also like day one, so there is a little bit of, you know what I mean?
This is an adjustment for everybody. Yeah, like give him some room.
She goes, "Philip, aren't you going to introduce Will?" He goes, Steve, David, Henry, this is Will, my nephew, by marriage. And one guy goes to extend his hand out to give him like a handshake, and Will slaps it.
they didn't give that time to breathe. It, like, cuts, and then there's the slap right away. I kind of wish he, like, put out his hand, and then he slapped it, like, just so there was a delay, because I almost missed the joke.
Yeah, no, I can see it. It was quick.
I do like though that they make it so like Phil's partners and like coworkers are like not like, oh my god, right? They're not like shrieking violets or whatever. They're just like, okay, like this is your guy. Like we're not like Phil is way more upset by it than they are.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, because he feels it like it reflects on them. And I'm sure they're not like loving this, but again, it's not. It's more important to Phil.
And this is nothing compared to when Will re-edits Uncle Phil's "Vote for Me" for Judge video for Philip Banks.
He's introducing them. These are my partners in the law firm of Earth, Wind, and Meyer. And he goes, "Hey, Earth, Wind, and Fire. When's the next album coming out?"
You can see that joke from a mile away, but what a great fucking joke. What a great fucking joke.
It's so projected. I mean, it was done deliberately. They're like, we need to make a law firm that sounds like Earth, Wind, and Fire. So they're going, and Will's going to be going to Bel-Air Academy with Carlton. Oh, good for you, Will. I used to fence at Bel-Air. Really? How much do you think you can get for that stereo?
Another great joke. I don't know if this would land as much now. I don't think you can fence stolen goods the way you used to be able to because of just...
Only in video games.
Yeah, like only in Grand Theft Auto.
It's tougher with electronics, yeah, because everything's like got like serial numbers attached to them now. You got to register everything, yeah.
You have to I guess you can break a phone if you need to or whatever, but you can wipe all your data from it. I don't know.
Remember when we were in school? That was a huge thing. Like kids getting their phones stolen was like a huge thing for a while.
I mean, there were videos forever when the iPhone came out of people walking down the street, looking at their phone, not paying attention. And someone just would run full speed and just grab it, you know?
Nowadays, it's it's near the amount of steps you have to go through and everything's all the serial numbers attached and everything's locked out. It's not the juice almost isn't worth the squeeze anymore for people to do it. But stolen phones, especially when we were kids, because kids aren't paying attention to their shit as much. You'd hear all the time about some kid in class who had their phone stolen.
I mean, I remember when we had our first cell phones. This would have been in high school or whatever. Before phones had cameras or anything, they were flip phones with
the
just
Nokias.
Antennas. Yeah, and I sat on mine by accident, the wrong way, and snapped the antenna. And Jay, your brother was like, $20, I got you. He came back the next day with somebody's phone. He's like, I got a phone. Don't ask any questions. Put your SIM card. It'll work. And I was like, sold, right? You can never do that now. But it was easier then, I guess. But it's a weird thing. I don't think people are fencing stolen phones as much now. I think it's just so easy to get a phone. Also, I do really want to try actual fencing. And I think we talked about this, but I looked it up. There is a place in Portland that you can do it, but it is prohibitively expensive. It's $300 for
Yeah, it's clearly an expensive hobby.
Hey, so I actually fenced one time.
Okay, I want to hear about it because I really want to do it.
So me and someone that a friend of the show, not anybody that's been on the show, but you got one of my ex-roommates, we decided that when we moved in together, that we would take up fencing, and then any time that we had an argument, we would fence. Very unrealistic, very high when we thought of this. However, we did go to Peabody, where a Olympic silver medalist ran a course up there, and they allowed us to do free intros, and I can say that I was very good, and I won the duel. It's a lot harder than you think, the way that you have to keep your feet kind of in a T, and then you have to kind of bend your knees, and then you got to kind of dip, epi, parry.
People can't see what you're doing.
I think, though, to your point, Gordo, if people think that it's not easy to do, or whatever, easy to do rather, it's sword fighting skill, right? People did this for thousands of years to not get killed, right?
Yes.
That was how you fought. So
I bet it's easy, and I bet I could beat any of you in fencing.
Really? I don't think you could.
I bet you I could.
Okay, I rescind my let's all go play batting cages. Let's all do fencing one day.
I would rather just watch Gordo and Ferg fence. I don't want to fence.
So you also have to stay in a straight line. You can't move off of the...
Nah, I'm breaking the rules, all right? I'm a wild fencer. I'm gonna stab you in the ankles and then kick you over.
You know what?
Fucking ankle.
I will take you up on that challenge. If someone wants to come out and film it, and if there is a fencing place
happily
that will...
that.
Again, there's a place near my house we could all go.
I can talk to Harvard.
Hello, Harvard.
Yeah.
Hi, Gordo.
It's me, Mike.
This is Harvard Pilgrim Health Insurance. Who the fuck are you? Why are you calling us talking about swords? Did you get stabbed with a sword? Do you need help?
Hey, Harvard, it's me again.
This is Gordo's Eminem song.
I can make this happen.
Yeah.
Please don't go. Gordo's asking why.
I can talk to Harvard.
Well, aren't you gonna look stupid when I do talk to Harvard?
It just sounds like you're doing like bad 80s slogans, like reach out and touch somebody, talk to Harvard. Like it just sounds like something you see in like a newspaper ad.
Oh, Gordo's calling us again. Just bitch button him. Just like...
We see someone holding a tray of hors d'oeuvres, and Will grabs like, "Oh, don't mind if I do." And he does like the tosses it up in the air and catches it in his mouth. And Phil goes, "How could you do that?" It's like, "Oh, it's all in the tongue. I'll show you later."
This is good too, yeah.
I was never a a food thrower. I never had that.
My hand to eye is not great. For things
I was
like
always
that.
really good at it, actually.
No, but my hand to mouth is really good, if you know what I mean.
Great. Yeah.
That's how you eat food.
All right.
Why did you do this then?
It's like a hoagie.
He's eating a submarine sandwich.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a hoagie. You know.
The long way.
Well, how else do you eat a hoagie?
I eat it sideways. I start with the vegetables and just move way down like a carrot.
No, most people cut it in the middle and then they eat it from like the middle to the end.
I would still consider that the long way.
Connie Conehead is the only Connie Conehead and Goldberg are the only people who eat submarine sandwiches that way.
All right. So we cut to a little later on, and now they're all sitting at the dining room table. Dinner is like about to be served. And like, again, just like the visual, it's very fancy setup because the table is full of bullshit that doesn't need to be there, like flowers and centerpiece and all this stuff.
If we're going with another sitcom we've covered before, this is kind of like the Laverne and Shirley. Laverne and Shirley.
Shirney. Fuck you, Shirney. I'm dying.
Yeah, Lurt and Shirney.
I like how every one of you made Shirney handicapped. I said Shirney, not Shirley. Everyone was like, Shirney. It's like, oh my God, guys. Jeez.
I won't know. I won't have Bert or anything, but
I went with Miss Piggy.
so
Bernice is Shirney's pet pigeon.
It needed Fonzie eating soup.
That would be funny if just in this scene, Fonzie was still eating soup at the table.
He's just at the end of the table catching soup.
The law firm of Earth, Wind, Fire, and Fonzarelli. Yeah. Oh, hey.
Earth, Wind, and Fonzie.
Yeah, there you go.
He's eating shark fin soup.
Will's sitting there, and like Ferg, he can't behave at dinner. So he's sitting there, he tucks a napkin into his shirt, and then he starts using the silverware to like play like with all the glasses. And but first he's starting to do a little bit of a beat with the glasses, and then he starts beatboxing over it. And finally Will, there are people at the table. Oh, you're right. Any requests?
This is like, and I'm one of those people too. I hand drum.
I do a lot of hand drumming.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah, you're both obnoxious.
When we record, it's really tough for me because like I know I'm gonna bang and like the microphone's gonna hit it and everything's gonna vibrate. So it's like I have to go against like my desires to like hand drum at all times.
Berg, who's saying you're obnoxious. The last time we had dinner together, we're sitting at the table and I go, "What smells like cherry?" And I look down and you're blowing vape into your shirt in a restaurant. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing right now?" And you're like, "I do it everywhere. That's not how you do. What are you doing?"
You're not around Ferg as much as the rest of us. He can't fucking go in. And I don't think he does it because he needs a hit. It's out of defiance. He needs to know that he could do something he's not allowed to do.
Your response to me when I asked you, "What are you doing?" You said, "It's fine. I do it on airplanes," which I think is the funniest, the funniest reasoning ever. I was like, I didn't mention airplanes. I just say, "Why are you doing this in this tiny restaurant in this town I live in?" I do it on airplanes. Okay.
And if we were at a fancier restaurant, Ferg would do the thing where he just wipes his finger along the glass to make it to make the sound.
I'm sorry, it's fascinating.
Ferg, I'm with you. I would do that as well. Yeah.
It's like the first time it ever works because like you see it on TV and stuff, it blows your mind.
I think it has to be crystal too, right? I think it's a type of glass that makes like the.
No, it's just gonna be that shape, like a champagne glass. No, not champagne. What is that kind of glass?
Cylinder?
called?
Oh, a coupe glass. I think it is.
I think any stemmed glass. I don't even
think it needs to be stemmed.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be stemmed either.
Oh, really?
It just needs to be. It needs to just be a thin rimmed glass.
Is it the coupe one that's supposed to be Marie Antoinette's breasts?
Oh,
I think that's what the coupe one. I could be way off on the name, but there's one. I think that's what it is. I mean, none of us are classy, so I don't remember the name of it. But luckily, most of our fans aren't either. So there's no one listening right now being like, "You fucking idiot! That's the wrong glass."
I think you're all very classy. I apologize for him.
If I look up Maria Antoinette's boobs, I'm just going to get pictures of Kirsten Dunst, so I don't want to derail the podcast.
So now they ask Ashley if she wants to say grace. And she's like, yes, mommy. And she like, and then she like busts out a rap. And the whole family is stunned. The last line of which was, thank you, God, for this stupid food. You see like Carlton, Uncle Phil, everyone's just like jaw to the ground. They don't know how to react. What I didn't necessarily like is when she was done with her rap, Will was very like
embarrassed.
He was like embarrassed, like, because they know it's going to be because of me.
But nothing else has embarrassed him so far, yeah.
This whole episode, he's so aloof. You know what I mean? Like, he's unaware of like how his behavior is coming off. So for this, he should have been more like, when everyone else was shocked, he should have been like applauding and like dapped her up or something. But to be embarrassed, I felt like counteracts everything he's been doing this whole episode, like with his character.
I just said, like, oh, actually, you got it way better from this afternoon. Like, something like that. Like,
yeah, he should have been proud of her for being so good at it.
Yeah, he should have been like cheering with her or whatever, like, or jumped in and beatbox while she was doing it. But
I also feel like she hasn't been around him enough to have changed that much to like do that.
She looks up to him though. Like, you can tell right away there is an early kinship. We cut a little later now, past dinner. Everyone's gone. Will's alone in the living room. He's kind of like playing around with the piano a little bit when Jeffrey walks in. He's like, hey, Jeffrey, home butler. He's like, hey, I'm going to be down here for a little while. Would you mind hopping in the kitchen and getting me some cocoa? And then that's when he explains to him in a much longer sentence than how I'll explain it. But basically, Jeffrey's off at 9, and it's 9:00 as he's asking, and now it's time for Masterpiece Theater.
A boring ass show.
Nothing more hood than asking for, oh God, Coco.
Coco. I'm not like you, Bel-Air types. Can you please name me hot Coco?
Yeah.
He is just a kid at heart.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Phil walks in, and now he's, Jeffrey's like, sir, do you require anything further of me? He's like, no, Jeffrey, like, you can, you're good.
Retire.
Like,
retire.
Yeah. He said, well, then he said, then I shall retire.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
And then, so, because Will goes, man, he took that hard.
That was funny. I really like that line.
So that 9:00 rule, though, there's a little bit of wiggle room if it's like the guy paying the bills asking.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah.
If Phil needed a last minute favor, he'd probably work a little longer.
That's a tough gig though, because like you see it too. Like it comes in later on where he's like, "It's my day off. I'm going to the movies," but like it's weird because you live there too. Like so, you're kind of always at work. Like even when you're off, if somebody asks you something, and they do that joke a lot as the show goes on. But like, what a terrible existence to be like, I live at work. Like people will ask you for shit on your day off, fucking constantly. That's a nightmare.
This is the point where like the inevitable serious scene, right? Like the you knew it was coming heart to heart conversation. So Phil's saying like, hey, I need to talk to you. He's like, since the minute you walked in the door, you've been a one-man wrecking crew. You've been trying to tear down what's taken a lot of hard work to build up, skewering everything with your flippant shenanigans. He's like, hey man, I lost you with skewering.
Flippant is definitely a word my parents used for me a lot when I was in high school.
That wasn't a big part of my parents' vernacular. Now he's saying like, you know what I'm talking about. You deliberately tried to embarrass me tonight, and I don't get it. Your aunt and I went through a lot of trouble to bring you out here, and this is the thanks we get. He's like, I didn't try to come here. Like, everyone's talking about me, like, shipping me off and dressing me up and changing me into something that I don't want to be. And Phil's like, no one wants to change you. He's like, yes, you do. You told me straight out, when in doubt, act like Carlton. He's like, I don't want to act like Carlton. He's like, I'm a joker. I play around. I like to have fun. He's like, well, being a joker is what got you into trouble. Like, you may think it's cool to be on the streets when you're 17, but when you're my age, it's a waste. He's like, I can't think that far ahead. He's like, that's your problem. You can't take anything seriously.
And this right here, when we talked about earlier, where like you relate to Uncle Phil now, is we're way closer to Uncle Phil's age than Will's age. You're like, shit, there are some points in our lives where we wish we took some more stuff seriously, probably, where like there would have been less hardship and maybe especially economic hardship, right? Like as we grew up and worked shitty jobs and did whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a balance because there is something to like be a kid when you're a kid. It goes by too quick. You know what I mean? Like have fun. I think it's sad when you see people that are young who like grow up a little too fast and they don't have enough fun when they're young. Because there is a time when that has to end and you join the workforce and life just gets mundane. But also you need to be somewhat prepared for your future and like you can't like overdo it. There is a balance there.
There's the opposite too, though. We all know those people who are like, I didn't have fun. Like I didn't enjoy myself like I should have when I was younger. And now I'm 42 and I'm asking if you want to go out to a bar at 2 a.m. and you're like, I can't do that. What are you, crazy? You know, because like they like hit that part too late.
And also, like, Will's character is one that comes off a little bit where he's so loud, where it's like, is it for you, or is it because like people's validations or how you're perceived is important to you? You know, and a lot of the way Will's acting seems like it's more important that he comes off a certain way more than anything. Like his perception to other people, whether it's he needs these rich people to know that he's not one of them or whatever it is, but it's less about being authentic and more about just like getting your point across.
And I think at that point too, it's like we're guessing Will's like what, 17 here, 16.
I meant to ask, do they officially say?
I mean, he goes into the high school, so he's at least 16, 17.
Gotta be
right?
like 14 or 15 at least.
Yeah, 15. You could be a freshman.
Maybe 15. Yeah, I feel like that's a hard thing though. That's a hard time, right? If you think about it, especially with some distance now, you think about like being in high school. You have that weird. Your brain is like, I'm an adult. I'm getting older. I can do things. I have more freedom. But you're still a kid, so and then like driving happens or like all these different things, and you're like, but you're never in one world. You're always one foot in both, which is kind of like an odd thing to be. You know, it's like I have a car now.
Yeah.
I can go out. We can do everything we want. We can get dinner, but like be home by 11. It's a strange thing to sort of juggle. I think some people like really lose it at 18 too, where they're like go to college and are like finally fully free. Some people like really fuck up and just go nuts.
And I think this is when like Phil gets pretty pissed, because as they're having the conversation, Will like basically challenges like Phil's authenticity. And he's like, you don't like me because I remind you of where you came from and like what you used to be. And sometime between Princeton or the office, like you got soft and you forgot where you came from. And then Phil goes, oh, you think you're so wise? And Will starts to turn away and he goes, look at me when I'm talking to you. And like he gets that real stern where even as the viewer, you go, oh shit.
I was going to say, even as viewer, I was like, oh shit.
He does this so well. Yeah.
You feel like you're in trouble when he does it.
He's such a good actor for how much goofiness he does. He plays serious so well too. We were like, fuck, I wish he got to do more stuff than he did, because he
did.
really
It's just
has
like
range.
we were kids, so we watched Fresh Prince and Ninja Turtles, but like he did have some serious roles.
No, he had some serious roles and he did a lot of TV stuff, but like I wish he got like, I would love to have seen him and then like after this in like a serious drama show or something, right? Like, or has like a character like a doctor on ER or something where he could be like, or like a DA on SVU or something.
Now he's explaining to them like, let me tell you something. I grew up in the streets just like you. I encountered bigotry you would not imagine. Now, because you got to remember, there is a big difference here of Will growing up in the 90s. And listen, we still, 25 years later, 35 years later, still have, racial issues. And in the 90s, like there was a lot of big things going on. But in the 60s, like there was a lot of shit.
In the like civil rights era, it's a very different time.
So he's like, you don't even know what I encountered. He's like, you have a nice poster of Malcolm X on your wall. I heard the brother speak. He's like, I read every word he wrote. Believe me, I know where I came from. He's like, you actually heard him speak? He's like, that's right. So before you criticize someone, find out what they're actually all about. Yeah, it's one of those. Will doesn't realize it because he's just seeing the man he's being presented. He's seeing the more refined, the older, like the mature version of his uncle. But he doesn't understand that, like, yeah, there was a time where his uncle was once young and dealing with a bunch of shit himself. And, he wasn't, it's not like his uncle grew up in Bel-Air. Like, now his kids, like he probably can't relate to Carlton and Hillary, as much as he might want to, where they're similar in age to him. But his Uncle Phil actually does come from, like, he probably would relate to him more than anybody in that house.
Yeah.
But also, like, to Uncle Phil's point, too, it's like, he did well because his kids are so much better off than he is, right? Like that's the ultimate goal, is to like every generation get better, even though they're shitheads in their own way. But
yeah,
I do feel bad, like, because we all did it as teenagers too. We were like, you don't understand me. It's like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're 16. You're a fucking idiot. It's like, oh, okay, sure. When you're older, you're like, I was a fucking idiot.
And Will's at an age, and not just at an age, but just at like in a mindset where like living like in a bad area and dealing with all that stuff is more of like a badge of honor. Where Phil looked at that as like, I need to rise above this. I need to make something of myself to get out of here. But like for Will, it's more like, no, that's who I am. That's my identity. Like that, so it's just like, just a different mindset. And Phil's trying to explain to him like, yeah, that's cute when you're 17. Wait, watch what happens if you still live that way. And then after he says that to him, Will's like, well, wait, can I tell you my side of the story? Because Phil's like, I'm going to bed. He's like, no. You can't tell your side of the story. I know what you're all about. Believe me, the very thought of it makes me very, very tired. And then Uncle Phil walks out. And then like Will just like walks over to the piano and starts playing. And apparently he's like classically trained in
The Beethoven.
Great piano player. I can't play piano that well.
Yeah, so he is playing very well. And it's this weird thing too, because he's playing and you have Phil walk back into the shot to a point where Will doesn't know, and he's just like watching him play for a minute and then walks off again.
With a smile.
Yes. So I guess it's showing Phil a little bit that like there is more dimensions to Will. He just needs to crack at it a little bit harder. And also this was like another like, they want us to know some of Will's talents, because they definitely go out of their way too to show you this is Will Smith actually playing the piano, because the shot does cut afterwards. At first it's that like, you know, the classic, you're watching, you see his head, you know, you can't see his hands shot. But after Uncle Phil leaves, it's a straight up side shot and you see his hands playing the piano. So it is legitimately Will playing.
And Gordo, I know because you play music as well. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like the first thing I ever look at if there's like a band on like a movie or a TV show is, are they really playing? I always watch their hands. Are they really playing? Like a show like California Dreams or something where like it's so fucking bad and they're cutting around as much as they can to be like, these people aren't playing guitar. It's always really impressive to me when they pull back.
Wait,
and like, this person's really doing it.
You're kidding. No,
Are you telling me they weren't real surf dudes with attitude?
No, they were real surf dudes with attitudes. They just were not real guitar players.
No, but they had enough attitude that they could play the guitar.
Hey, look, there were some serious episodes of that too. There was an episode where Jake's uncle comes and has lung cancer, and Jake.
Oh no, Jake's uncle.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, there's one person out there listening, and I think it's probably our friend Pat, who's going to be like, I remember that episode. Some people were surf dudes with attitudes just like I was, okay? There are California dreamers out there, and I raised my glass to you.
That's kind of groovy.
It's not.
Go back and listen to our California Dreams episode.
Or come hang out with me and listen to the soundtrack, because that cassette rules.
Here's kind of one of my issues with the show, and we still have more to go on, is this feels like what should have been the last thing you saw.
Yep.
Was him playing the piano, kind of the like, oh, there's more to him than you realize. Uncle Phil sees it, walks off. But it's not. There's a lot more episode. Not a lot more episode, but like multiple scenes after.
Yeah, and so they were like, we should end on a white face joke. We're just like, guys, you had such an impactful thing. Why would you have to go so silly?
So I feel like this whole chunk of stuff could have just been like placed elsewhere. So, because the next scene, now we see Ashley and she's in her room and she's dancing with her headphones in. And Will's knocking at the door, but she doesn't hear him. So he eventually like lets himself in. She doesn't see him because she's dancing with her back to him. And then he's like dancing along with her, which is like an iconic scene. Like it's iconic to the point where I didn't even realize that was an episode 1 clip.
They used it in all the commercials back in the day.
Joe, you must love it. It's one of the big TikTok things now.
Oh yeah, I usually see it when I'm on TikTok.
Most of my
day I spend on TikTok.
The dance they do here, they do it to that anxiety song.
What is the anxiety song?
Anxiety.
That won't help.
That's not going to help me figure out what you're talking about.
I'll play it for you later. Yeah, it's played to like the Gaudier music. It is, but
Goatsy music?
No, not Goatsy
music.
Gaudier.
Goatsy.
But anyways, so he's dancing along with her. Eventually he gets very like lost in the dance. So now he's spinning around and getting really into it. She notices him. It's like, Will. She asks, like, could you teach me how to dance? He's like, yeah. He's like, not in here. And he's like looking around. He's like, even I'll lose my rhythm in this room. And then she's like, all right. And then he says, hey, can you do me a favor? I seem to be missing my Walkman. So if you happen to notice where it shows up, like, I don't know, like maybe your head, that's the Walkman she's using. Like, sorry, Dad won't let me get one. Why not? He says he wants to hear everything I'm listening to make sure it's not bad.
I still stand by a cassette sounds worse than a CD, but a Walkman is an infinitely better device than a Discman.
Yeah.
Ashley could not be doing that dance with a Discman.
No, you couldn't. Not unless you had the skip protection one.
Even then.
That didn't do shit. That shut my CDs off when I stepped off a fucking curb. It would stop.
Right, but when the one that was actually called the Sony Walkman, like that red one, there were other variations of it, but like when that one came out, the Sony one, that one you could actually shake around and it wouldn't skip.
Yeah.
I guess you had a good one because mine skipped.
That was the one that did it.
I
but
had
like all
the
the other
Sony
ones,
Walkman. Mine did.
I remember the Sony ones where they had the button on the bottom. You had to like enact for skip protection because it would take up more of your battery if you turned it on. And still, you just be walking down the street. Like if I walk from my house to your house.
From my house down, we would like all kind of convene at Nick's house. I remember like I'd walk down the hill and like holding my wrist ever so straight so like I could listen to music consistently as I'm walking. It's just so crazy how much we have seen technology move a lot in the last 20 years. Like a lot.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, he really, really likes the Care Bears.
Nothing wrong with the Care Bears.
They're not a musical act. Like, what's a Care Bear album consist of?
Care Bears countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What was that?
I don't think that was at the end of the song.
Is that how it ends?
Yeah.
Well, all the shows had like cast albums and everything.
First
but
off,
I think
like how Gordo pretended he knew the song because once Ferg started counting down from 5, Gordo's like, I can predict the rest of these lyrics.
I've got a good idea where this is going.
I know this song. 3, 2, 1. Will goes, look, Ash, from time to time, your father's going to say or do things that may seem irrational or hard for you to understand. You know, it's not because he's mean or a bad guy, or it's not that he doesn't care about you. It's that he's from Mars, Ashley. It was like, that was fine. It was funny enough.
See, it was a funny joke, but I kind of wish he kept it serious so it showed that Uncle Phil got to him downstairs and, like, he takes it in that he's a good guy.
I feel like the misdirect, though, was, like, him still tipping his hat that he does understand that, but, like, he still needs to make a joke out of it.
It's multi-layered, as an onion, I would say.
Stop quoting Shrek until you see Shrek.
I'm not watching a children's movie.
And stop saying lines from it.
Yeah, that would be way below you.
Gordon, you're not watching anything. You're watching bird YouTube. That's what you were watching.
I am, actually.
BirdTube.
There's a guy in Maine. He birds all the time.
Look, I have nothing against birding. I mean, that's where James Bond's name came from. That's from is it ornithology? What do you call bird watching?
Ornithology.
Ornithology. One of the most famous ornithology books is written by a guy named James Bond, and that's where the name came from. So I'm not against bird watching. I like birds. I try to fill my yard with as many things to get as many bugs and birds as possible. But I don't want to watch them on YouTube personally.
What was OJ's first name? Was it Orenthal?
Orenthal stab a waiter Simpson.
I don't think that was it.
Oh, that was his USC nickname. Running for the 40s, stab a waiter. This shouldn't come back to haunt him in any way.
He's like, hey, I need to get washed up. And she's like, yeah, me too. And also, I'm really glad you live here, Will. Oh, thanks. She goes, you're like the big brother I never had. He goes, no, what? No, you have Carl. You're right. No, I see your point.
This part here where she says they have 4.5 bathrooms. I was so fucking jealous. Can you imagine having that many bathrooms in your house? Holy shit.
Sounds like not enough. Because
here's the thing, though. Having 4 bathrooms in a giant house, that's normal. But the fact that they have a bathroom on each side of the hallway that, like, basically face each other, that's too much.
That's excessive, yeah.
Yeah, there should be one off the kitchen.
Yeah.
The master bedroom should have one. There should be one on each floor in the hallway.
well, I guess it depends. I mean, depending on how many bedrooms are in that area, like what if there's like one on each side, like 2 bedrooms on each side with like a bathroom in the middle? I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of bathrooms.
And technically, we know the pool house has one, so property-wise...
I was going to say, does that count as one of the 4.5?
I think it's property, but not the square footage of the main house.
When he finds out 4.5, by the way, he asks Ashley, well, can you point me to a full one? Because I don't want to take any chances.
Because he's going to poop.
Yeah, that joke is that one just has a urinal.
I wish. I've always wanted one.
I've always wanted a urinal too, yeah. But I feel like if you have an open urinal...
It's like, in theory, it would be cool to have until you have one and your house stinks like piss. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a water pipe with pee in it all the time, and you have to fill it with water cookies.
Oh, like in New Girl. They have a urinal in New Girl, Joe.
Oh, good for her. I'm so glad for her.
So quirky.
She poops in it.
She poops in
Poops
it.
in
This
it.
sure is a weird toilet. It's like,
My ukulele doesn't fit in this ukulele holder. All this water comes down, and all these ice cubes are in the way.
This rhubarb went right through me.
I like the idea that the only thing she eats is rhubarb because it's the quirky vegetable.
I got this clip-on tie at the farmer's market.
As someone who gets forced to go to the farmer's market, if I saw her there...
You don't get forced. Don't even lie. You like being at the punk rock farmers market. That's where you go.
You get up, you macrame yourself a fucking tote bag, and you go to the farmer's market by choice.
Macrame's it.
Now I'm tempted to learn macrame just so I can do that. Like a 2-year-long gag that will get me so fucking aggravated.
All right, well, why don't you guys do a Freaky Friday, and then one weekend, Gordo, you go to the farmer's market, and then Joe, you take pictures of birds and then watch sheep get shaved all day.
I'd rather go to the farmer's market.
I don't want to miss the sheep shaving.
He invited us like 10 times, too. You guys, are you sure you don't want to come? Yeah, Gordo, we're sure.
All right, well, we're going to be leaving around 10 if anyone...
The shearing's the best part.
You guys haven't lived until you've seen some sheep shearing.
Gordo, without even being there, I can smell the event. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
like,
smells.
you-
It's a farm.
yeah, it's...
I like that he tells us the time and stuff, like we're gonna surprise him. Like, hey!
They came!
Oh, my God.
But now I feel like we're setting up a joke where we do one day have to do that. We have to like honk, honk, honk. We have to show up in like a Danny Zuko car too. Like we have to be as obnoxious as possible as we all roll up.
I think you guys would quite enjoy it. There's craftsmen that sell shit. There's,
Ooh, craftsman.
they have, like the old colonial people. They're there.
I do need a knife sharpener.
Yeah, they're there. I got a cool bread knife.
So get one on Amazon.
I tried doing that. It's not the same. You need like a guy who can really do it.
Yeah, he shows you how to cut it. You get cool cutting boards of like the state of Massachusetts and stuff. It's like a small Topsfield fair.
All right.
It sounds like you're just like inside the Wayfair website or something.
Before we bore everyone to death who's listening to this, so they go in from bathroom to bathroom now. First bathroom they try to go to, Carlton apparently is in there and he's showering. And you can just hear him like singing silly love songs by the by Wings.
He was belting it, too.
In real life, he's a great singer. He had a bunch of
He's a
records
good singer.
out.
And even
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
even though it's comedic, like he's doing a good job. Like this is one of
Yeah.
those like, hey, can you shoehorn the fact that I can sing?
I feel like that's like a hindrance to this show later on too. Is like they always make fun of him and like call him a dork for singing or whatever. But it's like you can't do that. That's someone who can really sing. Like
That became a thing for a while. Remember, it was like him and like Ashley would just be singing all. They're both
Yeah.
very
because
talented.
they're both great singers. Yeah, like
Yeah.
had albums out.
So they have to go to a different bathroom after that, which, as mentioned, directly across the hall. So they knock on the other one, and it's Hillary, and you just hear, "Can a person gargle in peace?" And then it's like, "Hillary, you gonna be in there for long, or is this like a pit stop? Like, stop hounding me. I'm trying to take off my makeup. Go away." Like, "All right, good night, Hillary." And they do like the fake stomping noise to make it sound like they leave. And then she like, Hillary opens the door and looks out, and she's got like a full face of like cream on her, like a white, like a face mask.
Yeah.
They see her, and you just hear Will go, "I knew it."
That's like a she's white joke, right?
I guess
I was wondering the same thing.
it makes the most sense, but I was like, I'm not 100% sure I know what they're going for here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they meant, but I guess it could make sense, yeah.
So before we close out, again, I want to mention, like, I think this last note on the show just didn't, like, this whole scene with them looking for showers and stuff, like, it just didn't feel like the right way to end the episode. I think we had a perfect episode. I think they were like, this episode's way too short. Even with this 2-minute intro, like, we don't have enough. We need another scene. The dancing thing was funny. Like I said, that whole Will dancing with Ashley thing's become iconic. But I feel like this whole scene just could have worked in a different spot of the episode. It didn't need to close out the show. It didn't need to be after the formal party.
It did have to, though, because it was before they were going to bed.
It could have been the night before. The party could have been the next day. Like, you could have just made it so the party was the next morning or whatever. Or next night.
I assume they filmed the whole episode and realized how short it was, and then they had to add another scene. So they'd have to go back and change everything that it's another day. And
I don't know. It just, to me, it didn't really work. Like, it felt odd because they had the perfect ending and then they kept going on for another couple minutes. But with that being said, I mean, that was a whole episode. There's not a lot to say other than, I mean, again, this show was iconic. There's a lot of changes. It was weird to watch this episode and being as familiar with it as I am and trying to shut that off. It's difficult because almost every character was significantly different than what I'm used to seeing. Like there's like flakes of everyone, but everybody changed a great deal over the years in the course of that show, except maybe Jeffrey.
Yeah, they all get flanderized. The core characters are all still there. They just become a lot more extreme.
No, but I feel like Hillary has a lot more to her. Like in this episode, she's just very, I don't know, her attitude was a lot different. There was like that. There's like a bubbliness to her that isn't there yet.
Yeah, she's a little more mean in this episode than she becomes. I will say for Jeffrey though, like they do a good job of like not flanderizing him, but making him a side character who pops in for like a really good joke and pops back out again. Like I always think of when Will's having an argument with his, I forget her name, the long-term girlfriend he has. They work at the bookshop in the college.
Lisa,
thank you. And he's like, "What's love got to do with it?" And Jeffrey just
got
walks
to
by and
do
goes,
with it.
"Got to do with it, got to do with it," and walks out. And you're like, "That's the perfect
Yeah.
side character
When
joke."
they started
to have
giving Jeffrey
ever.
a little bit more, especially like when he would throw digs at Philip all the time, like that was a huge part of the show.
See, so he changes too.
So I guess So correction, they all change.
They all change, but again, in a pilot, people change.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's interesting to go back and watch a show like this that like it's not like the show is totally different and the characters all somewhat resemble what they become, but yeah, definitely a different vibe for sure. But with that in mind, might as well get into the green light or cancel. Nick, gonna start with you.
Yeah, this is a green light, and we discussed this early on. It's very tough to separate. It's one of probably the toughest we would have to deal with as far as separating our nostalgia for the show from our raw opinion on the pilot. I think there are things that could be done better on this show, but I think the overall story is intriguing enough. Like it's not totally unique. I mean, there are similar stories out there in sitcoms, but just the style of the story is different enough that I want to keep watching it. I really like I don't like Hillary in the first episode. They don't really give you much except the fact that she's really shallow. There's not enough redeeming about her. I love Will and Ashley's relationship. It's really fun. And I think I'm most excited to see how like Will and Uncle Phil like bridge the gap here, because they're obviously at odds in this first episode, and it can't stay that way. So I'm like interested to see how that happens. There's a lot more good than bad. So this is a pretty easy green light, but not without its issues. And I think I'm seriously going to keep watching this. I'm very excited because I haven't watched it in a really long time. This reinvigorated my excitement for the show. So I'm excited to keep going. Yeah, easy green light.
Gordo.
How can you not green light this? This was a really good pilot. Everybody had chemistry. Will Smith is great in this. The supporting cast is amazing in it. You want to see, even though it went a little bit longer, you still want to see how this is going to play out. So it's easy. It's easy. You can't. Iconic theme song, like it might be the last of the Mohegans there as far as like old timey theme songs in good sitcom. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but green light.
Berg.
It's actually going to be a cancel for me. I didn't like this pilot. I love the show as a whole. I think we've shown from our knowledge of episodes in the future how much we all love this show. I think Will in this episode really got on my nerves how he treated the family and stuff, and I can't get behind a main character I don't like. It sucks, but I understand him acting like that with the family when he's lived there for a while. You get comfortable and stuff, but he's just meeting all these people who took them into their home and are so sweet to him, and he's just an asshole. And I'm like, I don't want to see more of that. Turns out I do want to see more of that, but why as I'm watching it now, just this first episode as an adult, I'm thinking this ungrateful jerk, and it just does not work for me. Just this pilot. And we've said it before. It's like, that's why we do what we do. Some of the best shows don't have the best pilots. And yeah, this shows it. So it's a cancel for me.
Joe.
I think I have a lot of similar opinions to everybody who's spoken before. One thing I keep thinking about is, again, not to be like ahead or whatever, but like it was such a different world where this came out in 1990, we would have been 5. And it went into syndication so much earlier than the 100 episodes. because we were watching this in syndication on like a few different channels in like the third season, right? Like it feels like it was on all the time, but then was on forever. It's weird now that's on a Peacock. It's a strange thing. The only real issue I have with this, I think Ferg, I agree with you. Will doesn't really fully feel formed yet. And I do feel like that last scene plus the theme being too long is them being like, we have to hit a time mark that we don't have yet. Where I think that last scene hurts the episode. It needs to end on Phil and the piano. That's such a good sitcom. And that's like what Norman Lear would have done, right? He would have been like, it ends on the piano on like a kind of dark note, like an All in the Family episode or Jefferson episode would have ended that way. That said, I had to really fight to not just let it keep playing. I don't have a lot of TV time left in my life these days. So when I watched it and had an hour left in my night and the second one started playing, I had to be like, oh, I have to stop it because we're doing the podcast tomorrow. That's usually when I have to greenlight something because I wanted to watch it so badly. So it's a green light for me. I did have a lot of fun. It's interesting watching a snapshot of this time, which is crazy to think of how long ago 1990 was. Like, it's a very weird and jarring way to make you feel old. But I really did enjoy this for the faults it has. I think the good outweighed the bad, so it's a green light.
Even as I'm speaking right now, I'm not 100% sure which way I'm going. It's funny. The one thing I told myself beforehand, before we even started the episode, I've been very conflicted if I was going to greenlight or cancel. I did say to myself, if everybody greenlights, I'm going to cancel because I don't think it should have a perfect score. With Ferg's cancellation, it makes me have to make a decision. So this episode, I love this show. This is one of my favorite shows of all time. It really is. I've watched so much of it. It's an easy watch. It's like one of those, if you're flicking channels and you see it just randomly on all day, it was always like an easy landing point. I have a lot of problems with the pacing of this episode. It just felt odd at times. Like things seemed out of order to me. It was a little dragged out. The dinner party scene, it was like there were fun jokes, but there was like slow moments and a lot of like silence in between. For an episode that was so quick, it didn't feel as quick as it should have. But there's also some like really iconic moments in it and like really funny things. But I don't know. It just, I guess if I have to, I think I'm leaning towards a cancel here.
I fucking knew you.
But it's not like I don't hate it. Like I said, I love the show, but like this isn't the same show that it becomes from episodes on in the future. We said it, there's no jazz yet. All these characters aren't quite fleshed out enough. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah, again, Will was a little too dickish for no reason at times. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hate the episode. As you can hear, I'm very conflicted even as I'm talking right now. Yeah, I guess if I have to pick, it's probably going to be a cancel. But that in mind, that's still 3 out of 5, so it's still a green light. So no worries, Fresh Prince, you do get the green light from us. So I want to thank all you guys for listening. Remember, S1E1pod.com is where you can find all the links to where to listen to us, our merch page, all our social medias, S1E1pod on Instagram, X, things of that nature. Please hit us up. Let us know shows you want to do. We get back to you guys as soon as we can. We want to know shows you want us to cover. We want to know how you found us, what you think of the show. It is gratifying to us as people who do this to kind of hear back from all of you. So please do that. But until then, we'll catch you again next week with another new episode. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best Jim Carrey, the cable guy health inspector.